first thing I heard was laughter. Not the fun kind, not the kind you remember from childhood or summer parties. This laughter was thin, stretched, sick with something I couldn't yet understand. And it was coming from the field where my best friend disappeared. If I hadn't turned around that night, if I hadn't seen that figure dancing under the dim, flickering lamp, I might have told myself the laughter was just the wind. But I did turn, and what I saw, what stared back at me with that impossible smile, has followed me ever since. This is the story of the man who danced in the dark, and the truth he led me to. We were 16 when Johnny vanished. 16 and stupid, drunk on summer and freedom, convinced nothing truly bad could happen to us. The old middle school field had become our unofficial second home. A place to hang out, drink cheap sodas, hide from parents, and talk about nothing and everything. Even after the school shut down, even after the windows were boarded and the gates chained, we kept going back. We liked the feeling of being somewhere forbidden. We loved the isolation. None of us ever wondered who else might love it too. The night Johnny disappeared was ordinary. Too ordinary. Hot, humid air that stuck to your throat. Cicadas screaming in the trees. Streetlights buzzing like flies. He left around midnight. Said he had to get home before his mom killed him. We watched him walk down the path toward the parking lot. The glow of his phone lighting his face every few seconds. He turned right at the bend. He waved. He disappeared behind the trees. That was the last time anyone saw him. Or at least, the last time someone normal saw him. I hadn't visited the field in weeks. Not since the search parties dissolved. Not since the police stopped calling. Not since his mother's voice had turned into something hollow and unreachable. But grief makes you crave the places that hurt. So that night, I went back alone. It was nearly 1 in the morning. The lamp at the edge of the field flickered in slow, tired pulses. The wind pushed tall grass in rippling waves. I stepped out onto the dirt track. That's when I saw him, a man, standing in the center of the field. His arms hung loose at his sides, his head tilted like he was listening to something I couldn't hear. Then, with a sudden, unnatural jerk, he began to dance. Not wild dancing, not rhythmic dancing, more like someone imitating a human body from memory. His arms swung in slow arcs, stopping abruptly midair. His legs bent and straightened as if he were being tugged on invisible strings. I stood frozen. Every few seconds he paused, turned his head, sniffed the air, like he knew he wasn't alone. Finally, he stopped moving. His chin lifted. He looked directly at me, and then he smiled. My stomach tightened so fast I nearly doubled over. His smile didn't reach his eyes. It didn't even look human, as if his mouth was stretching into a shape it had practiced but never perfected. I backed away. One slow step, then another. He took one too. I ran. Branches whipped my face as I tore through the woods. Roots clawed at my ankles. I didn't stop until I reached the parking lot. That's when I saw the car. Johnny's model. Johnny's color. Johnny's dent on the left corner. The headlights clicked on, and I bolted like my life depended on it. I didn't sleep that night. My brain replayed the scene over and over. The dancing man, the smile, the car. The next morning, I told my friends everything. Tim joked about meth addicts. Marcus said it was probably some drifter. Sam went completely quiet. But later that day, while flipping through an old yearbook, everything clicked into place like bones aligning. On the page for the basketball team, way in the background near the bleachers, stood a janitor. Thin, long face, stringy hair, and that same strange smile. I stared at the picture until my eyes hurt. It wasn't just a resemblance. It was him. He had worked at our school. He had been there every day. He had watched us from the hallways, from the janitor's closet, from the cafeteria doors. He had been near us all along. And now he had Johnny's car. When I brought the yearbook to the police, the detective looked at it for 10 seconds and said, "There's no record of this man being employed by the school." I blinked. "What do you mean?" "No ID, no paperwork, no background check, nothing." "So who is he?" "We don't know. Maybe a volunteer, maybe a temp worker, but there's no official listing." That was when I knew the truth. The man in the photo wasn't an employee. He was someone pretending to be one. Someone who didn't want to be found. Someone who danced under dead lamps in abandoned fields. Everything escalated 3 weeks later. I walked into Dunkin' Donuts at 6 a.m., half awake, half alive, and he was there. The janitor, the dancer, the face from the yearbook, standing perfectly still next to the pastry shelf as if he'd been placed there for display. His head turned slowly. His eyes met mine. His lips curled into that too-wide grin. My entire body locked up. Before I could move, he darted toward the door with a strange, twitching excitement, like a puppet pulled too fast on its strings. He burst outside. A dark SUV screeched up, door already open. He dove in, and as it sped away, the license plate flashed clear as day. 4-pack 207. Johnny's plate, Johnny's car, Johnny's kidnapper. From that moment, he started appearing everywhere. At the grocery store entrance, at the edge of the woods by my house, across the street as I walked home. He never approached, never spoke. He just watched. Sometimes he smiled. Sometimes he swayed on his feet like he was about to start dancing again. One night around 2 a.m., I woke up to the feeling of being watched. I forced myself to look out the window. He was standing on the sidewalk, head tilted, arms hanging limp, staring up at my bedroom window. And slowly, he lifted his hand and waved. That night, I slept in the bathtub with the shower curtain closed. It was Sam who finally broke. We were sitting behind the gas station, drinking warm soda, when he suddenly whispered, "I saw him, before Johnny went missing." My heart clenched. "What do you mean?" Sam swallowed hard. "He was in the woods, the night Johnny disappeared. I didn't say anything because I thought I imagined it." "What was he doing?" Sam's voice dropped to a shaking whisper. "He was dancing. We should have run. We should have called the police. We should have done anything except what we did. We went back to the field. 5 of us, together, clinging to some stupid belief that sticking together made us safe." The sun was setting when we arrived. The empty school loomed behind the field like a corpse propped against the sky. The lamp flickered weaker than ever. The moment we stepped onto the track, all of us felt it. The wrongness, the silence, the sense that something was waiting. We spread out slowly. Marcus kept looking behind him. Tim wouldn't stop fidgeting. Sam looked like he might faint. I walked toward the center of the field, and then I saw it. A shape near the woods, a shadow shifting between the trees, a faint swaying motion. My throat went dry. He stepped out from the darkness. The janitor, the dancer, the watcher, and behind him, moving in unnatural, twitching sync, were others. 4, 5, maybe 6, all smiling, all swaying, all waiting. My legs locked. Marcus whispered behind me, "Don't move, don't move." But they were already moving, spreading out, forming a loose ring around us. Their smiles widened in perfect unison. The lamp overhead flickered once, twice, then went out. The field dropped into darkness, and they began to dance. Panic exploded through us like lightning. Someone screamed. Someone fell. I don't know who. All I know is that we ran. Branches slashed my arms as I sprinted through the woods. My lungs burned. My vision blurred. Behind me, I heard footsteps, laughing, rustling, something thumping against the ground in uneven rhythm. I broke onto the main road. A car screeched, stopping inches from me. I collapsed onto the pavement as headlights blinded me. It was Tim's older brother. He dragged me into the car and floored it. By the time we reached the nearest town, my friends were gone. Scattered. Missing. One of them, Sam, wouldn't be seen again for 3 days. He was found on someone's porch at dawn, barefoot, shaking uncontrollably, muttering a single phrase over and over. He danced. He danced. He danced. The police treated it like a panic incident, a trauma response, a hallucination shared by stressed teenagers. Except Sam had bruises around his wrists, and dirt under his nails, and marks on his arms that looked like he'd been grabbed by several hands at once. When they asked him what happened, he said only, "They took Johnny first, but they weren't finished." 1 week later, I received a text from an unknown number. Picture, the field, the lamp, the bleachers, and standing in the center, arms limp, head tilted, smile wide, Johnny, not dancing, not moving, just staring at the camera. Below the picture was a single sentence. "You're next." I should have left town. I should have told someone. I should have done anything except what I did. I went back, alone. The night was silent. The woods were still. The lamp buzzed weakly overhead. I walked to the center of the field, heart pounding so loud I thought my ribs might crack. "Johnny," I whispered. A figure stepped out from the shadows. It wasn't Johnny. Not anymore. His eyes were empty, his smile too wide, his head tilted the same way the dancers had. And behind him, emerging one by one, the janitor, the other dancers, and shapes I couldn't fully see. They surrounded me, slow, deliberate. Johnny stepped forward. His voice creaked out like old wood splitting. "You watched me leave. You didn't follow. Now it's your turn." As they closed in, they began to sway. Left, right, dancing, just like that first night. I screamed, but the field swallowed my voice. I don't remember running. I don't remember escaping. All I remember is waking up in my bed, drenched in sweat, with dirt on my feet and leaves tangled in my hair. They had let me go. Or maybe they had marked me. The dancers still show up. Not always, not close. Sometimes I see one standing on a hill. Sometimes at the far end of a supermarket aisle. Sometimes in the reflection of a window. They don't approach. They just sway and smile, waiting. I know they'll come back for me, just like they did for Johnny, just like they did for Sam. Because once you've seen the man who dances in the dark, once he notices you, you never really stop dancing with him. Not for the rest of your life. Not ever.